It's thanks to Howard Schultz that Americans today know what a latte is and that they're willing to drop over $5 on a cup of coffee. The billionaire and driving force behind Starbucks for roughly 3 decades is back as interim CEO, a position he previously held for decades until stepping down in 2017. He will rejoin Starbucks board and help the chain recruit its next CEO. Coming from humble beginnings in Brooklyn, Schultz has always brought a sense of social justice to the way he runs Starbucks. In the later years of his tenure, that underlying quest for justice erupted with a new strength, inspiring both support and boycotts of Starbucks. Schultz was born in Brooklyn, New York, in 1953. The child of 2 high school dropouts, Schultz grew up in a public housing project. It was here that Schultz says he experienced one of the biggest defining moments in his life. At age 7, Schultz came home one day to find his father laying on the couch with a cast from his hip to his ankle after being injured on the job. His father was an Army vet and a truck driver with no workman's compensation, no severance, and no health insurance, Schultz told graduates at Arizona State University in 2017. "When I was 7 years old, I had a defining moment in my life," Schultz said. "I saw the fracturing of the American dream and I saw my parents go through hopelessness and despair. And those scars, that shame, that is with me even today." Schultz's mother, however, encouraged him to pursue an education to open more doors for himself. He earned an athletic scholarship to attend Northern Michigan University, but, upon arriving in college, he decided he wasn't going to play sports at all. Schultz took on a wide range of odd jobs in school and following graduation. To pay for college, he worked as a bartender and even sold blood. After graduating, Schultz worked at a ski lodge in Michigan, in sales at Xerox, and at a housewares business called Hammerplast. Then, he discovered Starbucks. Throughout the 1970s and much of the 1980s, Starbucks was a coffee roaster first and a coffee shop second. But in the early 1980s, Schultz joined the company and became convinced that Starbucks could achieve a seemingly impossible goal: remain premium while becoming ubiquitous. Schultz had never wanted Starbucks to stay small like other regional chains such as Peet's. In fact, Schultz left the company for a brief period in the mid-80s because he was unable to convince Starbucks founders that the company could be an international chain, not just a coffee roaster. In 1987, Schultz acquired the Starbucks brand and 17 locations from its founders, who decided to focus their energy on Peet's. Then Schultz began planting the seeds for one of the most ambitious retail expansions in history. When the first Starbucks opened in New York City, the New York Times had to define what a latte was and explain it was pronounced L-A-H-T. Starbucks played up its exotic nature in everything it did, down to its sizes, with grande and venti providing a connection to the Italian coffee culture that inspired Schultz. Customers believed that their grande lattes demonstrated that they were better than others, cooler, richer, more sophisticated. Bryant Simon wrote in his book about Starbucks, "Everything but the coffee." As long as they could get all of this for the price of a cup of coffee, even an inflated one, they eagerly handed over their money, $3 and $4 at a clip. Between 1998 and 2008, Starbucks grew from 1,000 to 16,000 stores. Schultz took the chain from just an idea to an entirely new kind of store that hadn't existed before. While Schultz led the company to incredible growth, especially after returning as CEO in 2008 after a period serving as chairman, his leadership was also marked by his continued commitment to social issues. In 2011, Schultz encouraged people not to donate to political campaigns until the government addressed national debt. In 2015, he spearheaded the Race Together campaign to address police brutality and racism. Schultz's political efforts have ramped up even more a year later. In September 2016, Schultz endorsed Hillary Clinton for president, his first time publicly endorsing a candidate. When Schultz stepped down as Starbucks chairman in 2018, it again stoked rumors of a presidential campaign. He considered a 2020 run as an independent, criticizing left-leaning factions of the Democratic Party. "I'm also concerned that far-left policy ideas being advanced by several Democratic candidates will further alienate voters who believe those ideas will inflict more economic harm than good." Schultz ultimately backed out due to fears that an independent campaign would help Republicans re-elect Donald Trump. Not enough people today are willing to consider backing an independent candidate because they fear doing so might lead to re-electing a uniquely dangerous incumbent president, Schultz wrote in a 2019 letter to supporters. Now Howard Schultz is back in his old position as StarBucks CEO, though it's temporary this time. He will take over when current CEO Kevin Johnson retires in December and help the coffee giant prepare its next executive. StarBucks is even more dominant now than it was the last time Schultz was at the helm. Today, StarBucks has more than 34,000 stores in 80 countries. The chain reported net revenues of $29.1 billion in 2021, and the company's market cap is roughly $95 billion. Schultz's net worth is about $4 billion. In conclusion, Howard Schultz's story is an inspirational one that proves that anyone can achieve anything they set their mind to. No matter where you come from or what your circumstances are, if you have a dream and are willing to work hard for it, you can make it a reality. This is a powerful message for people of all ages and backgrounds. Do let us know about your experiences, about your goals, and what kept you going through the rough patches. And do stick around if you want to learn more about finance management. You'll find plenty of content about achieving financial independence here on this channel. It's a wrap. See you in the next video. Until then, keep hustling. Bye for now. Till next time.